This thing is just bad to the bone. There's nothing out there like it. I thought we were getting somewhere with just handheld thermal, but this thing's just on a whole nother level. There's so many guys out there that have the same problem we did, and you can't tell me they wouldn't want one. You can't troll with thermal from inside a moving vehicle and still scan 360. It's impossible. This device is the solution.
This thing is like an all-seeing eye. It's there constantly, no matter what. It picks up on the things that you miss.
The older I get, the more I grow to realize everything has a weakness.
Right there, whoa.
No matter what it is, if you look hard enough, you'll find something in your arsenal of night hunting gadgets that won't do one thing you simply wish it could. For us, that one thing we all wish could happen is to be able to see through glass with thermal. Now, I do realize wishing it were and reality are often far from the same. But I believe we may have found a solution to our problem. It's called ROViR, or Vehicle-Mounted Thermal Night Vision Systems.
Man, you're not gonna believe this new toy I've got, Matt.
Let's see it, man. You told me it was coming.
Well, Tyler, he told me about it. And it's something he's been working on, I guess, for about probably the past 3 or 4 years. It definitely solves a major problem, put it that way.
All right.
The problem that we have of not being able to see through glass, we fixed that completely. You know, we've always wanted to be able to see in front of the truck. Now we can. It's called a ROViR, R-O-V-I-R. And let's just say I think it's gonna be a fun toy to start using. Basically, it's on a remote where you can look 360 degrees and continuous. You don't have to go around and stop. It'll go 360 degrees all the way around.
This device solves so many problems for night hunters just like us on so many levels. One is simply being able to see livestock in front of the truck.
One of the other things I thought about too is when we're pulling in and out of places, you know how we like to black out. A lot of these places that we pull into, the landowners have a bunch of cattle. And we've always wanted to be able to see what's in front of the truck, you know, and if you've got baby calves or whatever laying in the pasture in tall grass sometimes, it's a safety thing, being able to just see them pulling in and out of places like that. I mean, I hate to run over one.
I've always been a problem solver by nature, and when something new like ROViR comes along, you can bet I'm gonna figure out a way to get my hands on one. And I've got a hunch you'll want one too once you see what it can do.
One thing I really like about it, Matt, is it's got a 4-magnet system. And once it's on the truck, it ain't coming off of there. It's pretty sweet. There's your controller.
Like a video game.
Yeah. You can turn that thing 360 degrees wherever you want it to go.
Nice. That's a good screen too. Not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
It's a really clear picture.
How many times have we been driving in a pasture blacked out, and then all of a sudden there's the cows are right in front of the truck.
Yeah,
a bunch.
no doubt.
You know.
Or how many coyotes have we pushed not knowing they're there?
Oh yeah.
As we drive in, you know.
Yeah, when you're looking out your window, if you're cruising through a pasture with thermal, I mean, you only have what, maybe 20-degree visibility.
Right.
With this, it's 360 degrees. You can't beat that.
And my face is gonna stay warm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the biggest feature to me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cold January night, and I'll be sitting here playing video games instead of freezing my face off. Okay, there's 2 buttons here on the front. What do those do?
Yeah, the bottom button, it actually, I was going to tell you, if you wanted to record while you're driving down the road, just hold down that bottom button for 2 seconds, and it'll start recording whatever you want.
Oh, man.
That's pretty
That's
sweet.
Awesome. And the top button?
The top button, I don't know what the top button's for yet.
Don't push the top button. Whatever you do, don't
it'll explode. Depress the bottom button once. All right,
Okay.
that changes it to black hot.
Black hot.
Do it again. Colorized.
Nice.
And then back to white hot. So there's 3 different options.
All
Plus
right.
the other thing too is see that little blue marker right there?
Right.
Wherever you want it, if you want to zoom up on something, that's why it's got a picture-in-picture. You're actually looking at that black dot right there.
Okay.
That's what the top button's for, I think. Press that right quick. All right,
There you go.
You're zooming up on that, whatever that target is on the
Gotcha.
duplex in the very center.
So simple.
Yeah, it's simple, but it's
so
all such
simple, but so high tech at the same time.
yeah. Eventually, he's going to get rid of this cord and have one of those ones where it's just
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Nice.
I don't know. That was just an idea I had.
This was gonna be a fun night putting the Rover to work doing what it does best, and that's finding targets. We were honestly just looking for one single pig to shoot at, but Rover ended up finding the entire family. When you leave the house and 10 minutes later you find what you're looking for. This particular field always has a blind spot looking from window level, but the added height of the Rover on top of the truck made finding pigs easy. These units are such an added asset for guys like us because it makes us that much more effective at what we do. I mean, who doesn't want to kill more pigs or coyotes? I know I do. The way I see it, the more animals you detect, the more opportunity you have, and more opportunity equals better odds for success. This device delivers just that with literally twice the features for half the cost of similar products. You can't beat that with even a real big stick. This thing wasn't even on the truck for 20 minutes and it already put us in front of pigs.
Get ready. You on it? You're not right there. Hang on a second. Yeah. Get the second one.
running to the left. You get him? Oh!
That was my last shot, too.
Well, Rover did his job, and so did Matt. 4 out of 4, not including babies, is about all you can ask for in this game. Being brutally honest, I had no idea what to expect the first trip out with the Rover. But coming from someone who's pretty difficult to impress, I can honestly say this thermal pan tilt is something every hunter needs on top of his hunting truck or UTV. I believe in tangible results. Something I can say, without question, gave me an advantage. The only way we would have ever seen these pigs would have either been from the rig or physically walked over the hill about a half mile where they were. That's a legitimate advantage we didn't have before. Sure, we didn't kill them with the Rover, but we sure as heck found them with it. And most of the time, that's half the battle, just finding what you're looking for. Whatever floats your boat at night, be it pigs, coyotes, bobcats, or heck, even coons up in trees, there is now a tool out there that will not only reduce your search time, but will also afford you bonus opportunities you never even knew you missed before. If you can't see us through this windshield, neither can we see what's behind it with a thermal monocular. That's just the way it is. But having the Rover mounted outside the vehicle gives you a thermal vantage point that's physically impossible from inside, even with all the windows down. I guess you could hunt out of some kind of open top like a Jeep or UTV, but you still don't have the ease of looking behind you like you can with the Rover. Where I've found it to be the most effective is finding game in places you normally wouldn't even think to look, like this group of pigs right off the side of the road. You never know where stuff's gonna be, and having the Rover scanning for targets just going to and from places will afford you knowledge you wouldn't have without it. Even if they're in places you don't have access to hunt, just knowing they're there gives you a reason to ask for permission. And to help your cause with the landowner, you can seal the deal with Rover footage of pigs like this tearing up their property from the night before.
I'm excited to get these to the public, that's for sure. One of those things you just don't know how useful it is until you try it. You don't know you need it till you see it. The coolest part about it is that it's exactly what we need because it was designed specifically for what we do, for night hunting. But it can be used in so many different ways. I mean, you can use it for predator hunting. Got a cattle rancher that's gonna use one to check his cows at night, don't have to get out of the truck. Guys up in the Dakotas are gonna use them so they don't have to get out in the negative 10-degree cold, check their cattle. I really am excited to get this to the public.
I've always felt that products designed by actual hunters for hunters are more application driven to give you what you're looking for. That's why I firmly believe the Rover has such huge potential with night hunters, because it was created by one of the best, Tyler Adair.
Really am excited to get this to night hunters because it's been 2 years working on this project, a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's everything that I wanted it to be and actually a little bit more. I mean, it's got all the features that I was looking for and I think night hunters are looking for. Picture-in-picture, it's got a directional encoder that tells you where it's looking. It's got color palettes, it's got onboard recording. Check this out. If it's too bright in the truck, it's got standby. Turn it back on.
I'm just pumped up with the ranging. That helps out big time.
I mean, when we started this journey, it was for pig hunting because we're pig hunters. But after, several years of testing and using the Rover, we've found that it's good for everything. It's good for coyotes, good for pigs. Anything at night that you want to find that's alive, you can find it with the Rover.
It's pretty obvious that Tyler's poured his heart and soul into making products for guys like us that solve so many problems. It affords us chances at having more fun doing what we all love to do.
It's nice, A, to be able to see all the way around the truck, and B, it's there and it's steady. This thing is like an all-seeing eye. It's there constantly, no matter what. It's always on. It picks up on the things that you miss. Every piece of gear that we use is just to increase our efficiency at killing pigs.
Absolutely.
Basically. That's it. That's the bottom line. We want the best scopes, we want the best monoculars, we want the best everything. This is just the best pan tilt there is, and it's an important part of our kit.
It would literally scare me to know how many opportunities we missed before Rover. Heck, just detecting coyotes in places we have access to call with the Fox Pro is enough to justify the cost.
I mean, this is just gold.
It is. You really don't have a clue all the stuff that you're missing until you have a Rover on top of the truck. I mean, there have been many times that we've driven right by a coyote that's bedded down, and he didn't move a muscle, and we never would have seen him without the Rover.
Night hunting is, in fact, a test of a hunter's equipment just as much as anything. And having the right equipment can make or break a hunt. That's why Rover is such a welcome tool in our arsenal of gadgets.
Rover for the win, baby. Is it a pig?
He's moving like a pig. Hell yeah, that's a pig.
As it turns out, that pig had a lot of friends. And it was time for Tyler and Todd to do what they do best. Kill unwanted pigs in a place they don't belong. This landowner had recently planted corn in this field, and with a group of pigs this size, it wouldn't take long for them to do some real damage. But I have a hunch these hogs are about to experience mayhem like they've never seen. The Rover had found the mother load of pigs, and they were going to town, tearing the place up like they owned it. You know, a lot of times I feel like non-hunters don't fully understand the devastation an unregulated group of pigs this size can have on a hardworking landowner. To put it in perspective, a group this big can destroy 3 to 4 acres in a single night, and every acre lost costs the landowner around $200 just to replant and get the land back into its original condition.
Anything at night that you want to find that's alive, you can find it with the Rover.
So anytime a group of pigs like this steps onto their land, the cash register starts singing to a potential tune of $600 to $800 a night. At that rate, it doesn't take long for losses to get into the thousands.
The good thing about it is you can put it on any vehicle. You can put it on a truck, on an ATV, a boat. You can put it on the side of your house, wherever you see fit.
The Rover isn't just something we want. It's something we need to finish the job we came to do.
This is just icing on top of the cake.
Bust him. Oh, that sounded good. Good shoot.
You too, buddy.
You see that first one rip on his back legs?
I couldn't believe that. I'm glad that we had
One of us smoked him and then he face planted.
Yeah, he took like 3 or 4 rounds on that first one.
Yeah.
To be blunt, no one, including non-hunters, trying to sustain a legitimate business would just be okay with possibly losing close to $1,000 every 24 hours without seeking some kind of remedy to the problem. That's why landowners don't just give us access. They want us in there taking care of their problem. Sure, we have a blast in the process, but ultimately, we are doing a huge service to a landowner in need of our help. And the best part is, as long as they ask nicely, we will usually kill them for free without asking for anything but access in return.
I mean, before the Rover, you paid twice the price, you get half the features. You don't get picture-in-picture, you didn't get a directional encoder, you didn't get the same image processing, you can't record and pull it off with your phone, you can't do all these things that the Rover can do.
I personally see Rover as a giant leap in thermal evolution. What used to be very difficult and very expensive has now become super simple at an affordable price. Who would have thought just a few short years ago that something like this would be available to the average hunter like you and I? I honestly never realized just how much game we missed before, and now we won't even leave the house without it.
You know, we deal in a lot of high-tech, expensive equipment, and it's not cheap, it's pricey. But when you look at the Rover, the sheer number of advantages you get out of it over other devices, it's worth the cost, hands down, no-brainer.
Technology has birthed a new watchman who never stops looking wherever he goes. He's yet to complain, even when it's cold. And you ain't getting this one because he's already sold. Try him just once, and he'll make you believe there's plenty of creatures you don't even see. Because be it day or night, the living is always in sight.